G'day everybody, my name is Jamie Holder and welcome back to my channel. I thought in today's video what we'll do is we'll go over battery maintenance. I did a video a while back and there was a lot of questions in regards to your DJI drone batteries, how to maintain them, there is an issue with it, what do I need to do? And a lot of these issues all stem from battery maintenance. A lot of them were dead batteries, but it is because they just didn't take care of them for certain reasons. So I'm going to go over a few tips or a few things just to try to help you maintain those batteries so you can stay flying for longer. One of the first things you want to be doing is having a bit of a read of the manufacturer's warranty or the manufacturer's guide in regards to the batteries. And this is because there's lots of tips and tricks in regards to your intelligent flight batteries to make sure that you stay up in the air longer. Keep an eye on it, have a look at that. That's going to be your first point of call. If you have an issue, have a bit of a look at that. That's going to be your first point of call on what is actually causing the issue with your battery in the first place. But that gives you a bit of a reference. Always do your battery firmware updates. A lot of the times you'll plug in your battery into your drone. So you just go and boom, you obviously synchronize it. And then once you've actually done that, when you load it up, you're actually going to have a look or go into the app itself. Open it up and see if there are any firmware updates if it hasn't loaded. Now, obviously, if you've got a firmware update for one battery, it's best to do them to plug them all in before you fly and do the updates on all your batteries before you go out. So even before I fly out, so before I go out, I'll actually check my batteries, every single one of them. I'll check them just to make sure that they're all ready to go, all ready to be plugged in, ready to go, and they've all done their firmware updates. That is one of the first things I do before I ever fly. When operating your drone, the best temperature to be sitting at is either around 4 degrees to 122 Fahrenheit. I had to look at that because I don't have a conversion. In Australia we use Celsius, or minus 20 in Australia, or who uses Celsius, to 50 degrees Celsius. Don't fly outside of that range. It's going to cause issues. Batteries can explode or do what they need to, causes damage to the cells. All right. With the charging temperature, you're looking at around 41 degrees Fahrenheit to about 104 degrees Fahrenheit. 5 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So a lot of the times if you are flying while it's hot or it's extremely cold, you may need to warm that battery back up a little bit by just placing it back in its case or something like that to warm it up before you charge it, or letting it cool down because it's been extremely hot outside. So letting that battery cool down before you actually give it another charge. Never charge it when it's outside those temperatures. Once again, it causes an issue, can make them boil, make them go a bit round or whatever, and cause lots of problems with your drone. The best ideal range to store your battery is 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit and 80 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, or in Celsius, that's 20 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. So you've got a little bit of a range there. Make sure you do place them into your bags. This is the best way to store them. Once again, maintaining and keeping these looked after means you're going to fly longer. So that storage is really important. Never store your batteries at 100%. That's probably one of the worst things that people do. A lot of people will come home after they fly, they'll chuck it in the charger and then they'll place away. If you're not using your drone all the time, always discharge your battery to around 60 to 40%. That is the ideal way. Your battery should not be full and your battery should not be empty when you are storing them. Make sure that you do have some battery left before storing your batteries. So if you are going to charge them full, make sure you do either place your drone on the table and let it discharge for a while, spin her on, let it discharge for a while, and then take out the battery and place it away. Let the battery cool down for a second and then place it away. Storage is one of the big things that does kill your battery. Never store it empty and never store it. One of the biggest things is cycling your batteries. So what you'll see is I have 1, 2, and this is battery over 3, in there 3. They are marked. Mark your batteries. I go around in circles, 1, 2, and 3. That is the best way to make sure that you're actually draining all batteries. They're actually at an even thing. You're actually giving a nice rotation to your batteries. This will make them last longer, and it means that you're not overworking one battery compared to the other one. Never use a battery if it is swollen, or if it's got an indentation, or if it's swollen. Especially if it's swollen. Swollen is probably the worst thing you could possibly do, because as soon as you put that in there, if you go up higher, if you're up in the air and that actually clicks out, so it's not actually sitting in there, it clicks out, that drone is going to drop and you've lost your drone. Make sure you never use a swollen battery. That is just one of the biggest things you can do, and it's going to damage your drone by you trying to push it in there. Never use a swollen battery. Make sure you clean the terminals with a nice clean cloth. Give it a bit of a blow. Don't use any liquids or anything in there to clean them out, or a nice little cloth, just to make sure that you do keep your terminals nice and clean. It's going to help with a better overall, obviously discharge of your drone while it's actually in your drone or where you're actually charging it as well. One of the things you can do when you're charging your batteries, charge your batteries full the night beforehand or the day before you're actually going out, and let them sit there for 24 hours. This lets all the chemicals, all that sort of stuff sort of sit there and settle before actually going out there to use your drone. Try not to charge your drone and then go out there and use the battery straight away. If you can and you've got time, charge it the night before or the day beforehand so the batteries actually have time to sit there and relax. You plugged your battery in, it's not charging. So this is actually quite a common one, and it happens a lot for people who use the hubs. Normally it means your battery's gone into hibernation, so you're connecting it through here and it's not charging up. So what you may need to do, depending on the drone you've got, if you've got this bad boy here, you might just need to plug it in so that way, plug it in and directly charge it through the actual drone itself rather than actually charging it in through the hub. Or you take the hub off and you plug it directly into it. It means that your drone's probably gone into hibernation mode and we want to get that drone out of hibernation mode. That's what we want it to do. Hibernation mode, for some reason, the batteries don't like to come out of hibernation mode in the hub, so connecting it directly to the actual charger itself is actually sometimes the best thing you can do for your drone. And the last biggest tip which I can give you is making sure that you power off your drone before removing the battery and putting a new battery in. One of the biggest things that you can do wrong is actually your drone's on, you've removed it, and then you go and plug it in. Make sure you do stop your recording of your drone before you do it, because it actually sometimes can cause an issue with your actual SD card, or it can damage the actual corruption, and it can corrupt basically your footage. Stop recording, turn off your drone, take your battery. Sounds silly, but the amount of times that I've seen people actually do it, and I've been out in the field and seen people actually take their drone battery out while it's still on, and then they sit there and wonder, oh wait a second, why is my drone, what's wrong with my drone batteries? You're just stuffing them up. So just make sure you power it off before you turn. For a bit of a flight, so I'm getting these batteries ready to go so I'm just getting ready to charge them up now. But I do hope you enjoy the video. If you did like it, it'd be fantastic if you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, as always, I do hope you have a wonderful day. Cheers, mate.